Separation consciousness runs all the way back to the 0 point, back to source, to the singularity when it first manifested into duality. These multi-dimensional elements, they're not always spirit guides. They're pieces of you. There's a darker side to energy healing. Blindly following the trail of breadcrumbs can leave you very hungry. We are high frequency beings. And high frequency beings know unity, togetherness, evolving as one consciousness, one code, knowing that the order of the day from those that want to control is separation. And separation consciousness runs all the way back to the 0 point, back to source, to the singularity when it first manifested into duality, when one cell became two cells. And two cells became three, and the Divine Father and the Divine Mother created the Divine Child. We as human beings, when we come together in community, it feels amazing. It's also challenging for those souls that are unevolved, because we're beautiful mirrors. And the more inner work we do, the more our mirror shines, and the more we mirror back to others. And those that are unaware, they don't want to take responsibility, so they blame everyone around them instead of doing the work themselves and realizing that these beautiful mirrors, they should be grateful for them. When you go in to heal another human being or facilitate the healing of another human being, because actually we can't actually heal another human. The body is designed to self-heal, but what we do is we create an environment so the other human being can self-heal. And we do that by playing around with their computer code, because the physical body is a biological computer, the body and the brain. What we do is we create from the tapestry, from the fabric of space-time, like a computer program in the back end of the system. I want to touch upon a point that is interesting, not a necessity, but interesting. When we utilize, invite into the space spirit guides. If I'm going to work on another human being, I can invite their spirit guides in. I've always got my own guides within my own multi-dimensional team. And what's really important to know is that these other elements of the cosmos, these multi-dimensional elements, they're not always spirit guides. They're pieces of you, part of your multi-dimensional team coming into the space to help you. So whenever I go in to facilitate healing, I call upon all of those pieces of me that can assist me in this space right now. I may need a surgeon. I may need an architect. I may need both. I remember years ago, when I very first started Star Magic, I had a guy that had diverticulitis, E. coli, peritonitis, in his stomach. And he was in hospital. The doctors had said, if you make it through the next 24 hours, you'll be lucky. But if you do, we're gonna have to cut 10 feet of your intestine out, and you're gonna have to have a colostomy bag fitted for the rest of your life to go to the toilet in. Anyway, they pumped him full of drugs and made it through the next 24 hours. He contacted me a few days later. It was like Christmas, 2015, 2016, something like that. He asked me for help. And I said, of course I can help you. I never know how I'm gonna help someone, but I always commit. I trust the process. It's a game that we're playing when we go in to facilitate a healing. So I went in to work on this guy. He was in a different town. He lived in England, we're both in England, but he was in a different city, different town. And when I went in to do the healing, these two big shafts of light came down by the side of his bed, and a unicorn went and kissed him on his nose. The next thing, he's waking up, or he's aware in this kind of multi-dimensional space that he's inside some kind of building with stone. And we were underneath the pyramids in Egypt, in these healing chambers. And some surgeons that I work with, they cut his belly open, removed the tumors, and did some other work. When this guy woke up, there was a scar across his belly. If you go to the Star Magic website, you can look at this testimonial. You can see the scar, you can see the doctor's reports. When this guy went back to the doctors, they said, everything's gone. All the bloods are clear. Are gone. He looked about 20 years younger. They said, you don't need to have your intestines cut open anymore. You don't need the colostomy bag. They said, we don't know what we're gonna tell the surgeons, but you don't need it anymore. They said to him, what happened? He said, I had a spiritual operation. This stuff is real. When you trust the process and you know how to set the intentions and how to open your heart and how to plug into the field properly and become the quantum architect that you've always been, magic and miracles happen. We run training programs to help people truly understand this level of healing. What you've also got to be aware of is when you go into these multi-dimensional spaces, it's not all the beings that you encounter have your best interests at heart. There's a darker side to energy healing. There are other entities at work. We call them shadow parasites in star magic because they behave just like parasites. You get parasites that go into caterpillars, make them climb to the top of the tallest tree in the jungle, and then they explode, and all of their gunk and their juices go over all the other leaves and branches, and then other caterpillars come along and eat them. They get infected with the parasite, they climb to the top of the tallest trees, they explode, and the parasite spreads. Shadow parasites take over human consciousness. There are entities and beings in the field that will shapeshift and look exactly what you need them to look like so that you can trust them. And so they present themselves to you as dead uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, Mother Mary, Jesus Christ, whoever it is. And people believe in this. And then what happens is they weave their way into the healing and they create chaos and destruction. You have to use discernment. We always use kaleidoscopic chromium. If you want to truly understand kaleidoscopic chromium, go and read my new book, Activate Your Superhuman Potential. Kaleidoscopic chromium is an Andromedan frequency, and we've been using it in star magic for years. I've seen it do amazing things. But one thing it's very, very good at is putting around certain frequencies, different beings that appear in your space. And if beings can hold their own frequency in kaleidoscopic chromium for 30 seconds to a minute, well, generally they are what they are presenting themselves to be, and you're cool. If you see blemishes in their architecture, well, they just go, you know that they weren't good, or they're not good. And if they stay there, you can dismantle them and disperse them. If they've gone anyway, so all is good. But you've got to use discernment. You can't just trust everything that appears in your space. That would be foolish. That would be unintelligent. I'm not saying to step into fear, because fear is a choice. Danger is real, fear is a choice. And if you know danger is real, you simply take an intelligent course of action and use certain tools to figure out exactly where you're at in the healing process. What other frequencies are in the space, and from there you can make better choices. And those better choices lead to better paths with better results. If you don't use discernment and you just wildly and blindly trust, you can end up in a whole heap of shit. So you've got to use discernment, and you've got to question. Good questions get good answers. Blindly following the trail of breadcrumbs could leave you very hungry. When it comes to separation, it's mathematical separation. If they can keep you away from me, or you away from your friends, family, or another tribe that you're involved in, they've created separation. If they can separate you and isolate you, then it's easier for them to control you. It's harder to control an aware human being when they're surrounded by a bunch of badass ninjas, galactic warriors that will all have that high level of self-awareness. When you've got a big bunch of humans that are all asleep, it's good to get them in numbers, because one negative human is going to pass it on to another, and the BS spreads and the infiltration deepens, and that collective consciousness of a low frequency mathematical equation spreads like wildfire. On the flip side of the coin, a high frequency mathematical equation can also spread like wildfire. You get to choose where you want to be, separation consciousness or unity consciousness. There are multiple timelines running. Which one are you on? Are you on the mathematics that is creating freedom? Are you on the mathematics that is seemingly creating freedom, but ultimately creating separation from source, separation from the 0 point, separation from the crystalline architecture? We are one, so let's be one. Let's choose one. Let's choose one. Regardless of what everyone else is choosing, love them anyway. Because when you love them, you set up a bridge, and that bridge is always open. And they get the opportunity to jump onto that bridge and cross back through the 4th dimension into the 5th and climb the ladder of magic and alchemy. Fear or intelligence, spirit guides can be highly beneficial, but totally destructive. Understand the game, be willing to explore the game, and then you'll become a Jedi master at playing the game. You've got to ask yourself, why do people come to Star Magic for the next level in healing? Why are we able to help people have so-called miracle healings all the time? Not just now and again, but all the time. Because we understand the architecture, we understand the codes, and we're rewriting it from the back end. Most people think they understand the code, but don't. And that's dangerous. But those players in the game are important because they bring contrast and they keep us on our toes. They keep us sharp. Wherever you are on this magical planet, go out into the world and love your sisters and your brothers fiercely and ferociously. Hug them tightly and never be the first to let go. And remember, beautiful soul, check out our website, starmagichealing.org. Come and join our facilitated training. Let us show you the way of the Force, the 0 point in the Force. Become a master of dark and light. Because that's where your power is. Moving into the dark or into the light, you're only half. Become whole. Walk the middle road. Walk the middle way. And remember to go and check out Infinity. You get access right now 7 days for free. It has some of the best ascension tools on planet Earth. If you want to be a high frequency being, get yourself to starmagichealing.org, join Infinity, access hundreds of guided meditations, light language transmissions, light codes, cosmic yoga videos, nutrition, breathwork, mystery school teachings, private Telegram groups so you can connect with beautiful souls on the same mission just like you. You can get access to all of this right now. You can join us live every Monday and Wednesday for our frequency spa and weekly meditation and stay plugged in. Plugged in. I love you so much. Go and be awesome. Speak your truth, live your truth, and don't give a flying you know what. Set yourself free. Be sovereign. Be you. Be extraordinary. And I'll see you again real soon. One love, one heart, one human family. Peace out.